A bolo is a large cutting tool of Filipino origin similar to the machete. It is used particularly in the Philippines, the jungles of Indonesia, and in the sugar fields of Cuba. The primary use for the bolo is clearing vegetation, whether for agriculture or during trail blazing. The bolo is also used in Filipino martial arts or Eskrima as part of training. Common use: the bolo knife is common in the countryside due to its use as a farming implement. As such, it was used extensively during Spanish colonial rule as a manual alternative to plowing with a carabe. Normally used for cutting coconuts, it was also a common harvesting tool for narrow row crops found on terraces such as rice, mung beans, soybeans, and peanuts. Because of its availability, the bolo became a common choice of improvised weaponry to the everyday peasant. Design: bolos are characterized by having a native hardwood or animal horn handle, a full tang, and by a steel blade that both curves and widens, often considerably so, at its tip. This moves the center of gravity as far forward as possible, giving the knife extra momentum for chopping. So-called jungle bolos, intended for combat rather than agricultural work, tend to be longer and less wide at the tip. Bolos for gardening usually have rounded tips. Types: various types of bolos are often employed for different purposes. The all-purpose bolo, used for all sorts of odd jobs, such as breaking open coconuts. The haras, similar to a small scythe, it is used for cutting tall grass. It called lampas by people from Mindanao. The cuchillo, the term comes from the Spanish word cuchillo. Generally used to kill and bleed pigs during slaughter. The smaller bolo. The bolo guna, a bolo specifically shaped for digging out roots and weeding. The garab, used to harvest rice. A large pianuti, traditionally it is tipped in snake, spider, or scorpion venom and used for self-defense. The sundang, supposedly used mainly to open coconuts. The sundang was a popular weapon of choice in the Philippine Revolution against the Spanish Empire and during the subsequent Filipino-Euro-American War. Historical significance: the bolo was the primary weapon used by the Katipunan during the Philippine Revolution. It was also used by the Filipino guerrillas and bolomen during the Philippine-American War. During World War II, the 1st Filipino Regiment was called the Bolo Battalion and used bolos for close-quarters combat. On December 7, 1972, would-be assassin Carlito Dimailig used a bolo to attack former First Lady Imelda Marcos as she appeared on stage at a live-televised awards ceremony. Dimailig stabbed Marcos in the abdomen several times, and she parried the blows with her arms. He was shot dead by security forces while she was taken to hospital. Symbolism: the bolo serves as a symbol for the Katipunan and the Philippine Revolution, particularly the cry of Pagkadloin. Several monuments of Andres Bonifacio, as with other notable Katipuneros, depict him holding a bolo in one hand and the Katipunan flag in the other. Other uses of the term: in the United States military, the slang term to bolo to fail a test, exam or evaluation, originated from the combined Philippine-American military forces including recognized guerrillas during World War II. Those local soldiers and guerrillas who failed to demonstrate proficiency in marksmanship were issued bolos instead of firearms so as not to waste scarce ammunition. See also: cane knife, dalong palay, kolak, kukri, machete, parang. References